Here's part 2 of learning how to solo through chord changes. In the first part, we looked at chord voicings through the chord changes. Know thy enemy. The chord changes are the enemy, and we need to defeat them. And to know thy enemy, which are chord changes, you got to know the chords. And not to mention that if you learn those chord voicings all over the fretboard, it gives you a visualization on the fretboard that you really can't achieve otherwise. And not to mention, chords are just really cool, and you're learning them all over the fretboard instead of just staying down here in cowboy territory. So, plus, any of those chord voicings can be used as arpeggios. And I remember, I believe it was Steve I talking about his time at Berkeley, and he knew the student at the time that could just totally rip through these chord voicings with just alternate picking. You know, I think he mentioned like B minor 7 flat 5, which is not very easy to do. Great exercise, but there is someone in this brotherhood that could totally rip on that. Makes me sick sometimes. Inspiring nonetheless. So, the next step in soloing through chord changes is going to be the guide tone approach. The guide tone approach involves chord tones being used to create very simple melodies that serve as a foundation that you can improvise on. This gives you a certain quality to your soloing that you really can't get otherwise, and it gives you more of a vocal quality, very tasteful, playing the right notes at the right time kind of quality. And so what we're going to do is start with just one note per chord in the minor 2-5-1 that we worked on previously. And the whole method revolves around the concept of voice leading, where you start on a chord tone of the first chord and you try to find the nearest chord tone of the subsequent chords. You know, with a couple little rules. Half-step resolutions are the strongest, whole-step resolutions are a little bit weaker, but not against the rules. It's good to audition all the possibilities, because when you start on a chord tone of the first chord, like in this case it's B minor 7 flat 5, so you start on the B. Well, when you go to E7 sharp 5, the C is right there, the sharp 5. Half step away, so that's a very nice progression. And then when you go to the A minor 6, you can stay on the C, which would be the flat third, or you can jump or skip at that point because it's a common tone. I'll post the rules about this in text form. It's from my book Theory of Variable Tonality, Volume 3. So in that guide tone melody starting on the root, you would play the B for B minor 7 flat 5, play the C for E7 sharp 5, and then you can stay on the C for A minor 6, or you can skip to E or down to A. So your two possibilities are, actually your three possibilities are so I'll demonstrate that with the backing track. This is going to be a Latin jazz backing track. very nice. If you mix in that approach, even just in this simple form, it just sounds great. And if you mix that in with all the scale stuff and arpeggio stuff and whatever other stuff you can conjure up, it just really balances out your solos and just makes them more tasteful, in my opinion. So the next step would be to start on the third of B minor 7 flat 5, which is the D note. Now I think my 4 strings are out of tune. I just had my strings changed yesterday. Let's see, tune. There we go. Yep, a little flat. Hanging in there, Emma. This is going to be a long one. It's going to take forever to upload. All day, maybe. I love that dog. So, starting on the third of B minor 7 flat 5, D. When you go to E7 sharp 5, you can stay on the D because it's the flat 7, and then for the E7 sharp, for the A minor 6, you can go up to E of the 5th or down to C of the 3rd. And another option, which kind of takes you in a slightly different direction, is since D is common between the B minor 7 flat 5 and the E7 sharp 5, you can then skip or move. I'm just going to stick with the basic, using the common tone, just to get through this lengthy video. I gotta answer this.